Hey, what's up, everybody? Friday, January 27th, coming to you from our podcast studio. Now that January is coming to a close, specifically dry January, number one, we got you. We have a great healthy alternative when it comes to those empty calories, the alcohol calories. We have our non-alcoholic hemp infused tequila, rum, and gin. So what exactly is that? Well, number one, it's going to basically give you an alcohol alternative. It will give you some type of an effect, like anything, depending upon how much you drink. So if you had maybe a sip of wine, chances are you're not going to feel it. You maybe have a glass of wine, maybe you feel a little something. If you have a bottle of wine, chances are almost everybody's going to feel something, except for some of the people that may be like a professional drinker that can polish off 2 or 3 bottles of wine. Yeah, you might have a higher tolerance. But overall, with our drinks, what's cool about it is, number one, you only need about half the amount of alcohol. So if the recipe calls, let's just say you're making a margarita and it calls for 1 ounce of tequila, you only need half an ounce. So what is it? It is live resin, and that is coming from the whole hemp plant. So you're basically getting all of the hemp plant the way that God made it, designed it for you to consume, basically all the healthy benefits. So you're getting all of the cannabinoids, you're getting the terpenes, you're getting everything. And that's what's so really cool about it, because you're actually going to be able to get all the nutritional benefits and all the healing properties of the plant itself in every drink. Now then, if you were to drink, let's just say you had 1 drink, you had half an ounce, that would basically be what most people would associate with having 1 glass of, whether it be wine or tequila, things of that nature. Now, granted, each alcohol does have different outcomes. So a wine type of drink may be different than, say, a shot of tequila, or let's say a kamikaze or a Long Island iced tea, things of that nature. That all those alcohols do have a different outcome. So let's talk about specifically ours, the live resin, because it has so many different profiles of the cannabis plant, of the hemp whole plant itself. You're going to be able to get a lot of different benefits, and overall the outcome, or how are you going to feel, again, it will vary by everybody. So depending upon your tolerance, if you've eaten, how much you drink, what do you drink it with, all of those things will make a difference. But overall, just if you say, how am I going to feel, you're going to feel, for the most part, again, just talking aggregately as an average, you're going to feel relaxed. You're going to feel chillaxed. You're going to feel like you're maybe, it's got through taking a nice warm shower. You're going to have a nice relaxed feeling. And it's going to be what most people will associate as that light buzz, like a buzz sensation. I like to equate it to maybe you're just kind of floating down a river. You feel very relaxed, light. You still feel coherent. You're not what most people would associate as like a super head high. A lot of people may associate from more of a stone feeling. So there's a lot to talk about, and as you can see, I'm already kind of going down a lot of tangents, and I'm trying to not give too much information, trying to not go off on different tangents. But needless to say, let me kind of dial it back. And I will definitely talk more about those things. Again, now that I have this platform, I definitely want this to be more of an educational platform where we can offer different resources and specifically talk with growers, with other manufacturers, even having some medical professionals as well, and just other athletes, moms, dads, just people that use the plant, or maybe people that don't use the plant. Why? I just want to really, again, create that platform so we can all kind of get on the same page. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, because cannabis definitely is not going anywhere. As I mentioned before in other podcasts or another clips, that it's surpassed the NFL in revenue. It's surpassed majority of the Starbucks growth from a revenue perspective, and it's definitely here to stay. But needless to say, let's get back into our cannabis drinks, the whole hemp plant, non-alcoholic hemp infused tequila, rum, and gin. So needless to say, you only need about half the alcohol recommendation, because it does have so many other different healing properties. What I wanted to let you guys know is that sleep. I wear my Whoop, which is a sleep tracking device. It's actually the wearable device for the NFL and a lot of other athletic organizations. And if you follow me at Healthy Brian, specifically like on our Instagram, you'll see that I'm always posting in my story about my recovery. Like last night is a prime example. Drove back in from Austin, and before dinner I had a couple of cocktails. I used our tequila and had a little bit of a margarita. I ended up having 3 of those. I stayed home, just had to do some work. Then I had dinner. I absolutely felt a buzz. Now my tolerance is a little bit higher because I haven't drank in over a couple of years, and that's by choice. I actually started off just doing a 21-day prayer and fast, which I'll get to at another time. But needless to say, I haven't drank in years, but I do consume, cannabis specifically as it relates to hemp in Texas. And then, if I do go to other legal states, as California as an example, then I will definitely partake in the recreational cannabis options that are out there, which most people, yes, do associate that with marijuana. But that would be in those legal states. So I definitely believe in the healing properties, assuming that you have done your homework, you've done some due diligence on exactly what you're taking. Microdosing is crucial on anything and everything. Like I said, microdosing, we'll talk more about that. I've talked about in the past, but I will definitely enlighten you guys a little bit more on at least some general guidelines on what exactly is microdosing. But needless to say, had a couple of cocktails last night. I felt a buzz. I felt relaxed. I felt great. I was still able to work. It's not a typical head high. There's very little THC in there, so I don't get that head high, which a lot of people associate, using cannabis as getting that stone feeling. I don't feel that. I didn't feel that, but I did feel relaxed. I did feel like I was maybe just got through getting a massage, just felt relaxed. I was just kind of floating, gliding, still definitely very coherent because I still had to do a lot of work, so I was knocking that out. I finally went to bed about 10:30 at night and got up this morning, felt amazing. Got actually almost half of my sleep was broken down in REM sleep and deep sleep. Had a low resting heart rate. My respiratory was great. My Whoop recovery score was a 92. My heart rate variable, and I know I'm speaking a lot of jargon to probably a lot of people, but for those people that do track the Whoop, my HRV, I believe, was a 56. So needless to say, I do pay attention to the data, and I have worn this back when I used to drink, and wow, yeah, so this actually was during COVID. Stress levels were obviously extremely high for everybody for obvious reasons, and I was drinking more than I wanted to. I was drinking alcohol, and I know some of the days happy hour would start earlier and earlier. And I love margaritas. I'm half Mexican, and margaritas are definitely my jam, especially here in San Antonio. Would have some of our local chispas. For those of you in San Antonio will know what I'm talking about. Hell, sometimes I'd even hit Taco Cabana and get those 99-cent margaritas. I mean, like I said, times were crazy. But needless to say, I would drink, and I was trying to escape. I was trying to shut down. I was stressed out. My company, Health Bombs at the time, was going through a lot of challenges we had a lot of stress factors, and I could talk more about that specifically and how I overcame that at another time. But needless to say, would drink a lot, drink more than I wanted to, and I would go to sleep and I would wake up and my recovery would be in the red. I mean, it could be 5%, 6%, super high resting heart rate, respiratory rate, poor. My heart rate variable could be, it was in single digits sometimes. Just really horrible. I felt like crap. And I think that's where a lot of people come into the mindset, oh, I'm going to drink. Okay, why are you going to drink? Well, I'm going to drink to take the edge off. I want to escape. I want to feel better. I want to get through the situation. I just want to feel better, not think about it. Well, yeah, it's a little bit short-lived, and absolutely, when you do take that first sip of that drink of your choice, alcoholic specifically, yeah, it does relax you. You can take a deep breath, and yes, you do start to escape. However, along with that, and of course, most people do keep on drinking. Number one, you really start losing control of some of your senses. You might say things probably that you weren't that you wouldn't ordinarily say, and that's why a lot of fights happen. That's why what do they say? Blame it on the alcohol, right? A lot of crazy shit happens, and needless to say, it's not what people want. People want to go to sleep. That's probably the hottest, I guess, opportunity for, I shouldn't say opportunity. There's probably the hottest need for everybody right now, right? It's going to sleep, and everybody lies down and they're still on their phone, or maybe they're watching TV, or it's in their head. They've had a super stressful day, or they're just worried, and all these different reasons why they're not sleeping. And that's why a lot of people have a drink. Well, what happens is you have a drink and you have all those sugars, and the way that alcohol affects you, it ends up raising your heart rate in a lot of cases. It does not allow you to get into that deep sleep, doesn't allow you to get the REM sleep, and it's overall just very light sleeping. So when you look at your heart rate, if it's elevated and it's constantly you're dropping and a lot of high spikes, things of that nature, you're not able to rest. Well, okay, if you don't rest, the next day you feel like crap. And along with that, specifically on that, your cortisol level, your adrenal glands, guess what? You end up storing fat. You're not able to actually let your body do what it was intended to do, and try to flush things out. Chances are you're dehydrated, and all that cycle does is lead to weight gain, or you're gonna hold on the weight, and you're gonna feel badly the next day. The hangover is real and real. The older you get, the worse it becomes. And anybody, definitely over 30, for sure over 40, know what I'm talking about. And all those things start playing into a factor, and you feel worse the next day. So then chances are, what do? You end up drinking again. And then you repeat the cycle over and over and over again. What's interesting with this, well, let me just say, I remember back in the day when I was in my 20s, gosh, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, I would maybe stay out drinking, and man, I could probably sleep like an hour, sometimes maybe 30 minutes, and I don't know how, but I'd be able to function just fine. You'd almost think like I really hadn't been drinking. It felt great, and I could probably do that again the next day, and again and again and again. And gosh, back in the spring break days, yeah, you could do it every single day. Now, forget about it. If you do have a drink and you tie one on, oh my gosh, I would be out of commission for at least 2 or 3 days. Now what's crazy is with these drinks, with these new non-alcoholic hemp infused drinks that we're talking about, that we're offering, what's crazy is you can actually drink feeling like you're in your 20s, and you get great sleep, you feel good, you have a lot more control just of yourself. Now, to be clear, it all depends on you. It depends on your metabolism. It depends on how much you consume. It depends, over what span did you eat. There are a lot of factors, just as much as we talk about with alcohol, or it could be any type of, too much of anything can be a bad thing, right? If you eat too much broccoli, chances are you're going to probably hurt because you just had too much of that fiber, and you could have some type of pain. So needless to say, always watch your dosage. Drink in moderation, consume in moderation, always consume responsibly. But needless to say, I feel great, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's really cool to see people try it for their first time, and just like, okay, wow, this is different. And people like it, and people like, wow, I can actually taste it. They love it. But really the coolest part for me is the next day. The next day, like, wow, I felt it. I had no idea. Like, this is awesome. And I slept great. I felt great. And that's really one of the biggest things that the biggest reward is knowing that it works. That not only, yes, it can help you, shut down. It can help you relax. It can help you take the edge off. It will definitely help you go to sleep and get great sleep. That's what's really cool, and we do have a few people. We have a lot of testimonies already, and we're kind of compiling it all. We're going to end up be putting a lot of experts on some of our blogs and on our website as well. But needless to say, that it's working, and really excited for you guys to try this. We're doing a lot of samplings, as many as we can. We currently we have locations. Well, I say locations. We manufacture, we do sell online, but we partner with local stores. So from liquor stores to juice bars to med spas, cold plunge, cryotherapy facilities. But we do have some partner locations in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, down in Harlingen, and Houston should be next week. We do have a couple of different options. Number one, you've seen the spirits. The spirits are on the bottle. That's the non-alcoholic tequila, rum, and gin. But we do also have some cans. And our cans, we have 3 different flavors. It is hibiscus lemonade, lavender lemonade, and root beer. So those are the 3 can options that we have. Now, what is that? That's really more like a pop soda, like a hemp pop. So it does have the fizz. It does have a little bit of the carbonation, which would give you the mindset that you're drinking actually like some type of soda, but of course it's not. It's the whole hemp plant. From a dosage perspective, number one, let's rewind. As I mentioned before, you only need half the amount. Well, 1 ounce of our spirit is 45 milligrams of live resin. That's that whole hemp plant. 1 ounce, which is typically what most people think of as a shot. Again, that's 45 milligrams. What I'm saying is most people only need really about half of that to have a drink, assuming that most people want to have several drinks. That's kind of the mindset. Our cans are 12 ounces, and in that 12 ounce can, it's 30 milligrams of live resin. So for the most part, most people should not get like a huge effect from drinking the can. So that's really more of just to be able to get some of the health benefits, feel good. You get some type of a flavored drink. It's a can. You can socialize with it. Now, if you wanted to try to, pair it with some of our gin or rum, that's great too. If not, drink it by itself. Again, it gives you something in your hand that you can consume, and you're able to get some of the health benefits from the whole hemp plant. Different than the bottle. The bottle is 750 milliliters, and that basically equates to 25 1-ounce shots, or a lot of people, like I said, will drink half the amount per drink. That would give you about 50 drinks. So 1 bottle would roughly give you about 50 drinks. So great way to just to consume, with your favorite beverage. I would say probably at least half to 3/4 of the time when I do drink, I'll just drink it straight. It's not designed specifically for that, like from a palate perspective, from a taste perspective. When we talk about alcohol, most people don't drink alcohol for the taste by itself, unless it's a super expensive, like an extra añejo, and you're drinking maybe you're going to sip on, some type of tequila or reposado or something that you're going to sip on. That's fine, but most people wouldn't just sip on rum unless it's something, again, high end. So if you do want to consume it by itself, hey, that's definitely an option. This way you won't get the calories. Specifically, our rum and our gin have 0 calories and 0 sugars. And that's for 1 ounce. The tequila, again, 1 ounce, only has 2 grams of sugars and 9 calories. So even if you were to have that one drink, which would be half an ounce, you'd only get 1 gram of sugar, which is pretty freaking cool. So to be able to just kind of consume that, whether you sip on that or whether you just drink it quickly, it will take effect faster. And again, you're getting almost minimal calories. Now, I'm probably a little bit more of I'm not going to say an extremist, but if I don't need the extra calories, why consume them? That's just more my mindset. However, if you do want to socialize, you want to have a mojito, you want to have some type of a daiquiri, or of course margarita. Hey, that's definitely fine. Now you have some options, and I'm super excited to also announce that Jugos Invitados in Dallas is actually in the West Village area. It's the old Mi Cocina. They are going to be carrying our rum and tequila, and they will feature it as the tequila or the margarita of the month, which is super cool. Stay tuned for that. It'll take effect in a couple of weeks. We're going to train the staff, get everybody educated, and then we'll be rolling that out. So I'll be sure to make an announcement for that. We do also have a couple of liquor stores that we just partnered up with in Austin. I would say about maybe 2 blocks from the UT campus. There's 2 liquor stores. One of them is Nueces Liquor, and the other is West Campus Liquor Store as well. So just some cool opportunities that are out there. Just wanted to educate you guys, or give you some education, shine a little bit of light on what exactly we're offering. I know I said a lot, and it probably went over a lot of people's heads. or others, maybe I just didn't give you enough. I will, like I had mentioned before, be using this platform, using this room to just educate you guys. That's really what this is going to be, an educational platform, not only as it relates to our drinks or to cannabis, but also into working out. I want to make sure that I can, help shine the light on a lot of myths and, what to do and, when should I do cardio? How much cardio should I even do? Should I do weights? Should I do abs? Can you spot reduce? Foam rolling? All these things that are out there. I would love to be able to help educate you guys and just give you guys some tips, things of that nature, and talk about food. I've been plant-based for over 2 years now, and I'd love to share my journey with you, why I did it, how I feel, what type of results I've gotten. And where to eat. A lot of people ask, where should I eat? What can I eat? Every city's different. And like I said, I would love to be able to, I will dedicate some time, specific time frame just to talk about, plant-based eating, and maybe even by city. We'll see where it goes. I know in San Antonio, I talk with this meal prep company, Be Happy Meals. Actually, some good friends of mine, the owner, and I would love for them to try to offer some plant-based meals. And they actually told me, hey, believe it or not, we have 5 options that are going to be available very soon. And so that's very exciting. And we're looking at doing some partnerships where we can even offer our protein bars or some of our plant-based options in a collab with them. So very excited about that. We do have a lot of things in the works. And I just wanted to, number one, thank God for this opportunity that he's given me, and just speaking through him and just helping to educate everybody. I definitely don't know it all. I'm not a doctor. All I can do is speak from what's worked for me, from my own experiences, and what hasn't worked for me. And just as I continue to learn, as I continue to grow and try different things, I want to be able to share them with you, and hopefully you guys can learn from what I've gone through, what I'm going through, to help you be healthier and happier. And aside from that, hopefully you guys have a blessed and happy, healthy weekend. As always, guys, in good health.